goes there?
Gung-Ho? It's me, Falcon.
Let me shine some light on this situation. You ain't Falcon. You're Zartan.
I am not Zartan.
Duke, ain't that Zartan?
Looks like a mask to me. Oh, come on.
What do you think, Flint?
I think that's Falcon. Finally.
Well, come on then. It's almost time for dinner.
Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Rundown. Today, let's take a quick look at the Hasbro G.I.Joe Classified series Cover Girl and Falcon. And hell, let's throw this Outback in here too. But that's mostly going to be a quick comparison because I already did a full video on the Target exclusive Tiger Force Outback in all his tight-ass shirt, gray-haired glory. So we'll just go over the differences, compare, and then I'll make a final decision on which one's going to be my main display Outback, because I'm known to make those hard decisions. On the front of the packages, you have artwork of all three characters, some G.I. Joe, the names at the bottom. On the side, there's more of that artwork. On the back, you get action renders, you get yearbook renders, you get all the accessories they come with. Warning, small parts. Do I even have to say it at this point? I mean, come on. On the other side, there's the new school file cards where they give you the icons and you have to go to GIJoe.com to decode them. CoverGirl has an entry on the site, so hers is easy to decode. It's Tanker 4, Light Weapons 1, Mechanical Engineering 4, and Weapons Development 2. Outback doesn't have an entry, so you gotta go searching. This is Environmental Specialist Level 3, Light Weapons Level 2, Jungle Combat Level 3, and Desert Combat Level 3. For Falcon, Vanguard Level 3, Light Weapons Level 3, Medic Level 3, and Comic Book Bubble Recognition Level 3. No, it's linguistics. On the top is the G.I.Joe star, the numbers in the series. On the bottom, legalese with barcodes. Let's start off with, like I said, Outback's gonna be quick. Cut away! Are they all coming with this footlocker top box? I will free you. Your straps are all riding up, buddy. It's sealed shut. I have the backpack, I have the flashlight, shovel, there's the knife, pistol, and rifle with ammo. All the same accessories as the Tiger Force release. Then there's this ruggedly handsome bastard. And as expected, it is complete reuse of the Target exclusive. Just some deco changes. The pants are still camo, but they are a brighter green. The one size too small shirt, instead of the Tiger Force orange, there's the Survival white. There, the torso and the shoulders are cast in white. The bottom of the sleeve that's on top of the arm, I think, is painted, and you can see some slight color difference there. That and this side kind of missed. It's down on the skin tone. The shirt change is a huge difference, but there's also the heads. Well, okay, the hair color. It's the same sculpt. It's just gray hair versus red hair. It makes Tiger Force look 20, 30 years older, but that also has something to do with the skin tone. The highlights are lighter, while this is more tan. Well, youthful looking, you know? Nice wash to the hair to bring out the sculpted detail. Same thing on the arms. Difference in skin tone and then just red hair. But it's the photo reel that people seem to have a problem with. And now that I have it in person, yeah, it looks like the eyes are a bit bigger, makes it slightly cartoony compared to this especially. I don't hate it with those piercing blue eyes. I just think this one's more intense. How about that? This one hasn't seen near the shit that this one's seen. Let me tell you about the time I broke both my arms and both my legs and still took out a platoon of Cobra. All right, Grandpa. Shirt's getting a little tight. I like this in the traditional sense, but whoa, this one's hard to beat. Next, let's open up Falcon. Get him out of his carbon chamber. Okay, I haven't messed with it for long, but initial reaction, I don't like this as much as the rest of the G.I. Joes. And it's not because it's plain. I don't mind that. In fact, that's how I think of Falcon. Hell, the whole body is reuse of Recondo, and I really dig that figure. Have some spats coming down over the boot. That's a slightly different color. You get to a darker green with the camo pattern here on the pants. Bagginess there with some sculpted on pockets on both sides. Underneath, there's the collared shirt. It also has the green camo pattern to it. Sleeves are rolled up with some bare arms. Got a watch on this side. And then the gear is an overlay coming up and over the shoulders, attaching in the back, coming down to the belt, and then attached to that, or part of the overlay, it looks like the shirt is untucked, or at least it's giving the illusion of that. And the pouches here on the sides of the belt do a little to hide that, but then it causes this ledge coming out on both sides where it doesn't hide it, you know what I mean? It's like the shirt's coming up to here and then jutting all the way in and then coming up on the body. But that does a good job of hiding the drop down hips so they don't gap up. That's all fine and dandy. It's plain, but it works. It's very military. It fits in with the rest of the Joes, but you see what I'm doing here. One, before we even get to the head, this neckerchief coming around, it just kind of floats above the collar and sticks out and rotates around and flops. It doesn't look like it's sitting there natural. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice sculpt and it's seems to want to do what it needs to do, but it doesn't. So, get off there. That's not bad. But then there's this, and I think a lot of it is the photo real, the way the paint's printed on there. Because I don't mind the chisel, the roughness, the gruffness. The eyes, again, are kind of cartoony, and then they're dark. Then there's that lip color that we've been seeing with a lot of Hasbro product. And I know I keep harping on it, but I look at a face and it's like, bam, there's lips. That, and now I'm noticing that the eyes are uneven. This one has more horizontal to it. I think the basics are there. The photo real just needs to be tweaked. Covering up half the face, that looks okay. And I'd even go with that, except for all this paint up here on the ear. But straight on, oh, now I see that the mouth is kind of elongated down to the left. Another thing, wait a second, didn't I tell you to go away? Another thing that Hasbro's been doing lately is shiny, harder plastics. The knee isn't as different as it usually is, but you can see a slight color difference between that and the rest of the leg. But the sheen on the torso is just wham, right in your face. Shiny, not so shiny, even less shiny. So I'll probably pull these down and give it a shot of dull coat or something, just to make it look more uniform from top to bottom. Get it? Uniform? Military? One last thing, engineering-wise, I try to move the head around and it just pops off. It acts like it doesn't want to sink down around the ball. I say as I push really hard and then it sinks around the ball. So maybe it was just me not exerting enough force. For articulation, there is a dumbbell. Well, okay, let's pull it back off. There's a dumbbell at the top of the neck with a ball down at the bottom. Can look up, down. There is some tilt there, side to side. Butterfly at the shoulder goes forward and back. There's a pin, allows for rotation all the way around, and then a hinge to there. Swivel at the bicep, and something I forgot to point out, it is a straight cut, but it's actually sunk down in there, not like a lot of the new figures. Double elbow, pinless, if that's your thing, comes all the way up. Swivel at the wrist, and then, oh, up and down on a trigger finger hand, yeah. Hinge mid-torso, cranks to there. Then there's a ball joint at the waist for just a little bit more movement along with swivel. Drop down at the hip, out to a ball, allows for this, and this. And it's worth noting that I did not have to oil those up this time around. They're nice and smooth. Swivel at the thigh. I did forget to mention that if this comes up off the waist, then you get floaty straps. Constantly have to push that down. Double knee, also pinless, goes up to about right there. Swivel at the top of the boot. Hinge at the ankle goes back, goes forward. Forward facing pin for rocker. For accessories, Falcon comes with, I guess this is a communications backpack of some kind. Has this antenna coming up and it wraps down. Rope. Have some canteens, pouches, because you can never have enough pouches, and then a sheath on this side. That'll come into play here in a minute. Plugs right there into the back, and it is bulky. How does it affect the balance department? Not bad. He's not really leaning forward. Then, like I hinted at, there is this knife, and that slides right into the sheath. I have a shotgun of some kind. It's a lighter gray with some brown here, and then green on the shells. Then you can fold the stock up. That hinges up and over. This comes down. And that's fine in that position, but I have noticed it is a little loose whenever you drop it down. And it can pop off if you're not careful. So carpet monster fodder right there. And then of course there is the beret. And that completes the look while being able to store all the accessories. I'm not gonna use this. Cover Girl was the one I was waiting for. Add another female to the team. And full disclosure, I've got a custom planned out for the body, so I may end up with another one of these. She's alive. Oh, and this is more like it. Don't get me wrong, I still have a couple of nitpicks here, but overall, I am enjoying this figure a lot more. First off, there is some Lady J reuse. Have the crotch piece, the legs, and the boots. So essentially, it's Lady J from the waist down. I do like that they added this olive green to the shin guard, makes it stand out from the brown of the boot. Because on Lady J, it was black, and it all kind of just melded together. But then instead of green, you get this khaki look, and here, they did not pop these little padding things on the front of the thigh, which I guess makes it more pant-like. You did notice this belt flopping around over here. It's kind of the same with CoverGirl. It can slide up and down, but with the jacket coming down like it does, and in the package, this was even kind of like this. That helps hold that in place because one of my pet peeves is something like this, where you're messing with it, and it keeps doing this and sliding around and getting out of the way, and I gotta keep putting it right back in the position. No, I want it to stay where I put it. But speaking of the jacket, have the sleeves coming down with some wrinkles, a leather texture to it, rolled up to about halfway on the forearm with some fingerless gloves, logo on the left shoulder. Then for the body of the jacket, same thing, nice leather texture with the wrinkles and extra stitching and pockets, fur going up around the collar, and then on the back there's this that really catches my eye. It's shiny, it's tubey, it really stands out. Oh, but it's the same for the slightly extra glossy elbows against the rest of the arms. The shirt underneath, I think, is new to accommodate the jacket. The collar's been brought down. But here we go again with the face. Repeating what I said about Falcon, I think the sculpt is there. It's the photo reel that's throwing things off. Those lips are red, and I understand it's lipstick or whatever, but whew, that stands out. There's a slight rosiness to the cheeks. Again, it comes down to the eyes. Man, there's a darkness all around them. And again, I understand there's probably a makeup component here, but it's awful heavy. I just wish it blended a little bit better. But I really like the hair, that reddish brown color, the way it swoops back and around. Are we going to end up with a blonde version at some point with different face paint apps? And here is the straight cuts I was talking about a minute ago, where it just attaches to the shoulder. This side's not so bad, it works, and the arm actually goes down to the side. Left side though, there's some rubberiness to that peg. It's not falling off, it just gaps up. Otherwise, I really like this design. It's adventurous, you know? Going over articulation, I'm thinking there is a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck with a ball at the bottom. The hair kind of gets in the way, but can still look up, way down. Tilt. Left and right. What do we got at the shoulder? There is a butterfly under there. Goes forward, goes back, peg out to the shoulder, rotates all the way around with a hinge up to there. Swivel at the bicep. Double elbow, I haven't done this yet, but comes all the way up. If we were breaking the laws of physics, it would go past that point. But notice when I cranked, it did start pulling off the shoulder there. Swivel at the wrist with a up and down hinge on the trigger finger hand. Side to side on the left, even though that's a trigger finger hand too. Got a ball mid-torso and at the waist. Together can crunch to about right there. Some arc back with some tilt, also some swivel. Drop down at the hips with the ball coming out to there. Again, I didn't oil these. Let's see what happens. Oh, comes up, back, out, all the way. Swivel at the thigh that I have inadvertently hidden with this strap. Double knee comes up to about right there. Swivel at the top of the boot. Hinge at the ankle goes all the way back, forward to there, and a front-facing pin for rocker. For accessories, have this crescent wrench. Unless I'm forgetting one, I think this is my first 1/12 scale wrench. No, I think something Fortnite came with one of these. You can either have her holding it, or there is a spot on the back of the belt that you slide right there. She comes with this data pad with this nice graphic. Is that upside down? Oh yeah, there we go. And that has a specialized pouch on her left hip that you just slide behind that strap right there. Wait, that's a dumb way to do it. That's a good way to break a screen. Probably want to put it this way. Comes with this pistol with the nice silver paint app up top. Oh, weapon storage. Got a holster on the right hip. And then finally, apparently this is the shotgun wave, because here's another one. This one is a bit more black to the plastic, and then there's that olive green that actually ties down to the boots. Not bad at all. Size-wise, it's your standard G.I.Joe Classified series. Falcon is about 6 1/4. Outback is about 6 3/8, and then CoverGirl about 5 15/16. Falcon comes off a little small. I don't know what it's the head size, isn't it? And you know what? It's the same for CoverGirl. Her head size compared to Zorana and Scarlet, it comes off bigger. I didn't notice until I put them side by side, and I realized that different people's heads are different sizes from each other, you know? But when you put them like this, it's like, wham! What? But here's a comparison with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Vulcan, which is the new go-to base body, and then the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper version 2. And then the same comparison for Falcon. So at the end of the day, decent. CoverGirl is my favorite of this group. Yeah, she has some face paint things going on, but overall, she is going right into my G.I.Joe display. And Falcon will too, for now, because I'm sure, well, I don't know, what can they do for a reissue of him? And then for Outback, it's still a toss-up between these two. I don't know. That's a hard decision. As decent as these are, they kind of dip compared to the Joes we've been getting. Those have been fantastic. I've been looking forward to each release, and that's why I grabbed these so early. But then getting these in hand, figures by themselves, on their own, they would be great. But you compare them to what we have, and they stand out. Something's going on overseas at the factories that things aren't getting caught early in the process. I like them, but you can tell a difference.